let's go. We're gonna do the video. I am getting little by little tired of this American police shit. So this is gonna be the video on what probably you would, based on what you see at least, I'm gonna do this for the sake of date and time, just so you see basically what's happening here. Let's do this. We're gonna do this stuff. I think that this is gonna be a little bit historical, and so that you can remember about what goes on. They don't report anything about what goes on. On a front news, you get to read stuff exactly as the one you see right there. Suppose it's not over for Ukraine based on MK Ultra. I'm gonna get to that stuff. This is the biggest clown I have seen involved in MK Ultra. This is bizarre. This guy is totally bizarre. I'm gonna talk about this guy more later. So this is basically what goes on. People in Gaza are dying like fleas. Jews are doing their job best of their abilities, and I must say that Vladimir Zelensky, as one of the Jews, did not wanted me absolutely anywhere. But this is more realistic. You got 500,000 experiencing catastrophic hunger. That's more like reality about a Gaza, or the so-called Israeli hostages, which Israel is gonna liberate at one point in time based on MK Ultra brainwash. This isn't the video about this stuff. This is the video about American police, just as I started, but this is all connected to one another. And I will proceed with Brothers Menendez. Something little I published here today on the subject of Brothers Menendez. The two Brothers Menendez that you get to watch at least once per month. The news that surfaces up about these two brothers. And so what's the case about that stuff? The case is, let me just do a little background of this case, what the media say about this case. The two brothers convicted, one of the two brothers convicted in 1989 shotgun slaying has been denied parole, becoming one of the most infamous in the 99s. Eric, now 54, spent 30 years behind the bars. Just a little history. This is where they remind me of their clothing. This is what they posed in front of me. That's how the schizophrenia is done. They give you the leads so that you follow the leads, and they start to give you.
Years behind bars, the Menendez brothers' long-awaited.
What they do is talking about what they do. Who is the one do? They. That's a police. And here we're going to talk about the police in this video. Police tells their story, right? Cops are the best storytellers, the fabulous. I see that this isn't about Slovenian police anymore. I see that this is about Federal Bureau Investigation. I see that this is about American police in general. The storytellers, what they want to tell about through me. I'm very unhappy about this stuff. I wasted my life because of the scum in blue. And my statement is not restricted to Slovenian police anymore, because this is the scum that universally is supporting one another. The boys 18 and 21 were convicted in 1996. Then you have another one right here. This is why I have chosen this. That's why, this is the reason why I chose this. Where the hell is that? That's why I did that stuff. That's why I did this stuff here. Maine police officer arrested by ICE agrees to leave the country. John Luke Evans was arrested. Was told he was legally authorized to work in the USA. Old Orchard Beach Police Department. I don't have to say it was involved in it. I'm going to give you some details on it. Came from Jamaica to the US. And that's the way it goes. This is a video on American police. Menendez brothers. Through Menendez brothers. Through the guy that you see right here. The girl that is spinning him a medal. I had a very bad crush on her. Old Orchard Beach Police Department. Very, very old police department that was involved in this. It's very difficult for me to even start where to start. The guy is Jamaican. Let's go to Jamaica. Let me demonstrate you where Jamaica is. You say, oh, I know where Jamaica is. Well, for me, I want to experience the day which I spent with Jamaican police officers. Yet another day when I spent with Jamaican police officers. Jamaica, ladies and gentlemen, doesn't have a military. Jamaica relies on a British military to defend one. They only have police force. I told them that's a bad idea, but financially they like it. So, that's the island of Jamaica. And this year is in Miami. This is where I used to be 11 and a half years. Then I also spent in other parts of the USA another year and a half. It was a day, green, nice day. Where they had me on a grass. They gathered over there. Like ceremonial stuff. They were doing some kind of training and stuff, and then they gathered. Yeah, like more like green stuff. Like this kind of stuff. That kind of stuff. This kind of stuff. Let me see that. And they didn't know what the fuck to do with me. They weren't sure what to do with me. And they didn't know what to do with me because of the violence in which Jamaican police was involved in it. This kind of universal police cause. The police, they alone stated me, police are good people, except in your case. They said, we don't know how to explain you. I had police officers from all around the world, every country in this house. They came for a visit. They did not come here for visit, but they came here to assist Slovenian police. They came here to assist psychiatrist Kapš, Milan Kučan, the people whom they work with all my life. 53 years now they work with them. I told you about how American deep state operated. I told you about how they look for anything that they could find in your face is expressing amusement, curiosity, or even admiration. So they could use their clowns from Hollywood, from MMA, from NBA, from whatever, soccer stars and whatever stars, little gods, I told you, the influencers, stars, the so-called stars, to follow up on this, in a parenthesis, ordinary people, and catch them. Maybe the best about the Slovenian police, I'm going to talk about a little bit about Miran Sudin here. Miran Sudin, maybe the best about Miran Sudin is, or let's say, Robert Golob, Miran Sudin, Robert Golob, Igor Juršić, everybody who was involved in Novo Mesto police station, from not exactly, probably everybody, I don't know, but I know for several of them, names that I mentioned right now, they had foreign accounts open. Foreign accounts, talking about the foreign accounts, investigator who met me in 2022, other investigators who were involved in this stuff, supposedly the British and Americans opened for them, that's what they claimed me, with a psychiatrist coach. They claimed me if things would not work out, supposedly, I understand, they have offshore foreign accounts where the money is deposited on their account. And supposedly these people signed up a contract with the British, with Americans, that specified that they are going to help me. And the way they are going to help me is in a very, very, very specific way. That's basically through the MK Ultra story, which British royals signed and also helped, contributed, demanded from the Slovenian side to enforce. The crime story. So that tells you a lot about the police. What kind of police this is. Alright, this is the type of the police we are talking about. That's the Slovenian police. That's the way it works. Miran Sudin was an honest man. Miran Sudin was an honest man. Miran Sudin was the first one who stood up against the foreign accounts in defense of the justice, Slovenian justice, and have figured out that he will prove how Americans and British were trying to corrupt him. And Miran Sudin did so when it became evident that they are gonna fuck them, at least in his head. Milan Kučan was the one who went on with Robert Golob. No. Foreign account, no. So, they created a story like this, and they also created a story like that. And they did this shit for absolutely everything. That's the police way. Jamaicans expressed concern for me, did not know what the fuck to do with me, because of so much crime. They were quite honest. They admitted that they are up to no fucking good. So they sent this guy here, you see, to the United States of America, where he would be a police officer in a, what is it, Old Orchard or whatever. What is it? Let me see this here. Old Orchard Beach officials, etc., etc. This is extremely, extremely white police department. Traditionally, they did not have absolutely any minorities inside in there. The first minority, I think, that became employed in this police department was the girl who gave the job to this Jamaican guy. He doesn't even have a residency in the US, I think. It was like this stated to me, that they're going to help me, but they're going to use the Jamaican guy to help me. So it would be very important for me to identify the Jamaican guy. The lady who said is going to get in trouble for this, I would say she's a Hispanic. I think she used to have glasses. A younger person also. I don't know, thought about when she got a job, but she is the human resource, I would probably say manager, something like that. The one that supposedly signed the job for him and said she's going to even get in trouble. Originally, it was a white lady also that was responsible for hiring people, but they changed this policy and they started to hire from different racial backgrounds, ethnicities people. So that's what that is. The lady right there that you see right there, I hit on her time and again. There was other ladies that I tried my best. Did not work, but look at that. I get to talk about them today. So what I will say to you is like this. This guy was involved in a minor violence against me when compared to violence others were implicated in. This is not his first visit to the United States of America, where he posed in a police uniform in front of me on multiple occasions. Maybe this is a form of help. He got a job as a police officer, something I never managed in the U.S. to accomplish, despite passing all the tests, the requirements. For the police officer, I simply did not manage to qualify for police officer employment due to instability. I'm an unstable, insane guy, unstable, mentally ill guy, obviously even a schizophrenic. That's what they started in America with their Slovenian partners, and that's what they assisted Slovenes best to their abilities all the way to even today. They continue to insist on it. I'm going to say to you like this about this stuff here. This guy was illegally employed as a police officer in the U.S. In the U.S., the requirement for one to become a police officer, from what I know, is American citizenship. Not even a green card. And that's the information that I gave you is disputable. I had some black ladies saying to me, go and apply already. When I had a green card, go and apply for the police officer if you want to be a police officer and this and that. No, the thing is that I was always acquainted with a precondition for the police officer is American citizenship. This is unlike for a security officer, which you can become also armed police officer without having any kind of citizenship. American citizenship, I think it's wrong, terribly wrong, but what it is, it is. When it comes to a police officer job, it's a different kind of job, very, very different kind of job that requires you to follow laws that pertain to the public and not only a certain restricted area, whatever. You're doing a public work after all. You have to be acquainted with laws, and of course the public also have to be acquainted with you. They have to have some kind of assurance, something that, if they don't even have that you're an American citizen, then I don't know. Policing the streets of America without even being an American citizen is, I think it's not the way it works, okay? I don't care. I don't give a shit. I am not, this isn't because I would be envious of guy or something like that. For the most part, this guy was a nice guy. He played a nice guy in my face during schizophrenic episodes that also Old Orchard bitch police department was experiencing. What the fuck can I say? They were involved in torture. They involved the city in the torture. They involved residents in the torture. They witnessed that stuff, harassment, torture. I did explain about what kind of torture that is. Trauma-based sleep deprivation torture is what that is. In the presence of the Slovenian psychiatrists, Slovenian police, that's exactly what they were doing. And also politicians occasionally. That's what they were doing. And exampled me with the guy who was not even a police officer back then. If you read the schizophrenic story of the Old Orchard Police Department, it becomes evident that guy was in United States of America. They don't even mention this stuff. Wow, how crazy that is. I think like, as a police officer, he acted like since 2023. His departure by... No. Required his departure on October 2023, entered legally through Miami International, visa required him to depart in 2023. So he came, and I have no idea how long did he stayed as a police officer in the US. I don't care. To me, this does not play any kind of it's not a factor that would be detrimental for me. All right, for me, detrimental is a factor that American police did absolutely everything possible to depict me as a schizophrenic, and evidently, American police believes in a schizophrenia so much. Maybe I could even say, through the police uniforms in the schizophrenia. And due to police uniforms, their beliefs becomes true. Because I don't know how to explain you properly this. Maniacs, psychopaths that walk around as a police officer opposed to the police officers. I have no fucking idea what I would refer to these garbages. It's like, we're police officers, there is great many of us, we have a police uniforms, and if only we will continue to enforce crime, therefore believe hard enough in something, and that something must be, in their heads at least, viewed as good, it will happen so. Because we are the police officers, therefore we are entitled. That's what this shit is about. That's what this sickness is about. I don't have anything I would say to this about this guy. Suppose it was sent to United States of America by the Jamaican police, heads of the police obviously that make the decision. I was on that ceremony. They brought me over there and they said that they're going to do something good for me. They don't know what to do for me, and so they came up with this guy that they would send him to the US to do something good for me. And so this is a guy then, now he arrived to the USA to do good for me. This is definitely one more story I have to give to the people, report on what I experienced during MK Ultra and what they continue to enforce. And so I guess that this is my word against their word, or maybe this is even no word, I should say my word against no word, because I am hear nothing, see nothing, know nothing person for the police. They do it their way. They have psychiatrists, and psychiatrists, I guess, are the judges. It's like what society is made out of. Society is made out of kings and queens, then a little gods known as influencers, and then there is the most credible departments, those that pledge the oath to the true and to the, etc., etc. And then you have also physicians that pledge also on helping people, etc., etc. And then you have, I guess, mentally ill people. That's myself. I go into that category. That's at least how they procalculated. That's how they're going to do this stuff. This is inadvertently connected to the stuff here that you see, to this stuff here, the Menendez story, the grandioso Menendez story. The Menendez story is maybe even more exciting than this, far more exciting than this. Now, I don't know anything about giving a police jobs without the citizenship in the U.S. That's actually insane. I'm not going to go and comment on that stuff. Who cares about that stuff? The Menendez story. The Menendez story, yeah. The Menendez story is identical almost to the one that I gave you right there. The Menendez story is such that the two boys that you see right here were a butt magnet for the people like Epstein. They were a butt magnet for males and also sometimes for females. So the Menendez story, from what I recall, that house was a lot of fuck for the money. The two boys were no victims. The two boys, for one thing, were collecting the money for the fuck, whether that be a male prostitution or a female prostitution. If the male hired, that male paid. If the female that had money hired, it was the female that paid. All this stuff, however, supposedly started with maybe not such a happy beginnings. Maybe the beginnings of this stuff were not so happy. What's also interesting about the Menendez royals, British royals, were involved in this butt fucking. This was the fresh boys whose parents offered sexual favors to the community. And the one, believe it or crazy not, who served the customers to Menendez parents were a sheriff, a police officer, who also happened was one of the butt fuckers in this case. That's basically what made me actually I decided to go and video record the case of the Menendez. So, as the sheriff, as a police department, also very long time involved police officer, supposedly who was on my side, American white guy, was doing his butt fucking. He decided that actually he did not decide. It was others from London, from Washington DC, that believed that they would actually get me on ice, but seeing myself in a killing, in a murder of the Menendez parents. The murder of the Menendez parents, contrary to everything I stated here in this page here, did not commence upon them being thrown inside of the jail, but many years ahead of this. It was Robert Golub who delivered me to Menendez parents. Maybe Robert Golub was doing some butt fucking too. Robert Golub loves butt fucking, by the way. He is one and the other, to put it this way. I'm just going to put it this way. And of all these people that were collecting themselves with the Menendez parents, one of them also was a psychiatrist, Peter Kapsch. Police, Slovenian police witnessed this butt-fucking episodes they had. Was also a sheriff who was involved in this case, police director, whoever the hell that was, whoever the hell they were using to enforce the crime through Menendez parents. This was an older man, white American guy, and also was a customer. It became totally evident. This story about the Menendez brothers, I have no idea what it happened. All I remember is that Robert Golob expressed interest in story which would associate me with mentally, pathologically, through the Menendez brother situation, with what Robert Golob anticipated together with the Gregor Golobic murder of my own parents. Okay, so I have a Gregor Golobic. This guy was the one who traveled a lot around the world. The man traveled the world, 7 seas. Important politician, yeah? With the tie, everything, with the suit. And you have, yeah. When the guys like this, with the ties and with the suits, then you know I gotta be fucking crazy. You know I'm crazy. You know I'm mentally ill, right? When you have people, you know, like this, right? You know that I cannot be other than crazy. These are all fucking drogaditos. Hashi. Hishkwarna business. It's like this. I don't know whether these people are doing some homosexual stuff over there with Menendez. Family. I don't even care. I don't care about who was doing what. I don't care about people having interest for the same sex. This is none of my business who does what. I never was interested in going after the people that do whatever they do till they started to mess with me during MK Ultra, do the stuff. I'm not going to get into it. Anyhow, not my interest, none of my interest. I saw myself in the Menendez brothers only because the two were nice. The fact of the matter is they were also abusive. They also tortured. And I will never forget the day when the two brothers, the parents were involved with the sheriff's department, with the police department. Menendez family was involved in Mount Everest of torture. This was point of interest, police point of interest, where you would have all kinds of people coming in and out of the house. Wealthy people with all kinds of visitors coming in and out. And within all this shit, with the neighbors included, there was a Mount Everest of MK Ultra torture. That's a point of interest. Dots. I told you they would get locations, police. And through those locations, there would be more and more clientele that would be interacting through and doing all kinds of stuff, transactions, torture. And also what you see in this case is some butt fucking. Butt fucking, I think, was real. Because it was about the money. The two kids were voracious, money collectors. And supposedly that they even got okay from me. That's what I understand. That's what I understood, because of what I remember was the mother from Menendez brothers, who stated in that case it will be like this. That I might have given them okay to get the parents killed. The parents involved in torture, neighbors involved in torture. This is always the same location where you get tortured. Eventually, at one point in time, they get from you whatever. Ladies and gentlemen, we're not talking about the police. Are we talking about the police here? Is this about the police, or is this... When you go to the police, I imagine there are certain procedures known as interrogations. So you have a different procedures applying to types of interrogation. But what exactly are we doing here? Are we closer to Guantanamo, or are we closer to interrogation, or what exactly? What exactly? Because we have a police officer. Interrogation, right? But we're doing torture just as severe as in Guantanamo, maybe even more severe than in Guantanamo. Absolutely more severe. All in all, absolutely more severe. 11 years drugged up 24/7, subjected to this type of torture. There is no comparison. Life wasted on this stuff. Are we talking about the police? Are we talking about the police? We're talking about the same people. We're talking about the same kind of people. I told you about Jamaica. We talk about the same people as every other police department through the United States of America. We're talking about Miami Beach police officer, boss, director. Two of them. I used to live in Miami Beach. I am going to stop here a little bit before I return back. Miami, Jamaica, Jamaica. Miami, you cannot see one yet. Here is the Miami. Welcome to Miami. See? Fort Lauderdale, it says. Fort Lauderdale says, but no Miami. Okay. All right. Miami. That's what I spent. That's what I wasted 11 and a half years of life. I wasted it prudently. It's not stupid. You know. I got what is worth to combat police crime. And in international level, so. Here is where I used to live in Miami. Right here. This is known as 47th Street. These apartments here that you see. .353 West, 47th Street. It dumped me quite off. Huh? Is it gonna pull? Oh, okay, it's working. What I can tell you about this is when I came to Miami Beach, it was all chieftains that met me on the Miami Beach. I moved to this building here. It doesn't move anywhere, this internet connection or something. It's just not. This is the residence building where I used to live. This was about 80% plus Jewish building, Jewish Orthodox. This is completely, almost 100% Jewish neighborhood here. 6th floor, I think it was 6G apartment. And the one I got into in his hands was old white American, blonde actually, like a mini Hulk Hogan. Like a mini Hulk Hogan. Two of them. One was a director that both of them wanted to help me at all the costs as much as they could. And the way they helped me was also very, 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 very interesting. Extremely, extremely, extremely impressive. The way they wanted to help me was by literally delivering to United States of America and dressing one up, Igor Juršić, into the police uniform. It was not only Igor Juršić, but supposedly also was Zajšek. They would have them dance in front of me with the police officers in a police uniforms, with police officers, American police officers, demanding from me to identify them. Stunt. We'll be doing here, job. We'll be here. We're going to have something. We're going to be here. And the only thing you're going to do is you're going to come to us and identify one of us. The whole Miami Beach Police Department, North Miami, Miami-Dade was involved. The whole fucking police, Miami, with the Fort Lauderdale involved in this stuff. All you gotta do is come here and identify our guys, your guys from Slovenia. In Slovenia, I did not met these guys from Novo Mesto police station that started to dress themselves as an American police officers. Then things get even better. They added the excitement factor to this stuff. And the excitement factor added to this stuff was doppelganging. Or what the doppelganging is? The doppelganger is when you have somebody that looks just like you, and what you do is you switch the two guy, you don't meet the person in real life, you only see him during MK Ultra, and you start to switch him with his doppelganger. Doppelganger in this case would be a real police officer from Miami. In fact, there was even a police officer who got a job. And actually, sorry, it was even an individual who got a job as a police officer because he matched one of the police officers from Slovenia. From Novo Mesto, from where I'm coming from. Did you start to smell this shit? Did you start to smell the shit in the heads of American police officers, universal criminality, organized crime? Did you start to smell shit? What happens to you if you go to the police officer and say, "Hey, I know you. You are not American police officer. You're from Slovenia. I know you." And you do this in Miami, on Miami Beach. What happens to you? Let me ask you. The question is for $1 million. And then you say, "No, you are from Slovenia," when they already put your handcuffs like that and they take you toward the van, they call ambulance vehicle, and you say, "But you told me that you are." You don't fucking talk to me, you motherfuckers in blue uniforms from United States of America. You don't fucking talk to me, swines, scum. You don't fucking help. You did not help. You will never help, you fucking scum. Murderous scum. Menendez brothers. This is not law enforcement, the stuff you do, guys. That's organized crime. That's organized crime. And organized crime can be pretty bad, but in your case, it's the worst. They became good friends, very close with Robert Golob, Milan Kučan, Uncle Kučan, all normal people. I was not normal. I was mentally ill. I was mentally ill. What's wrong with this guy? When I came to the US, the only one that remembered me was a Chinese guy. They remember, Americans remember, very good guy that came to Miami, got his job over there done, contract on Meridian Celebrity Cruise Lines, went to the port of Miami from one door to another, took the phone book and started to contact all the companies in the yellow pages from originating from port of Miami to get myself on another ship. I had visa. I could stay 2 years, I think, in United States. I didn't cross anything. Everything legal according to the law. All I had to do is transfer myself to another boat and go, because I was a seaman. I was registered as a seaman. But like everybody else, I was trying to establish myself in United States of America instead, because I told you, I was told, I was given a death threat for not returning back to Slovenia. I told you about what the fuck went on here in Slovenia. You have police coming inside in front of your father giving you a death threat. Promise they will kill you. What kind of stuff is this shit? What kind of stuff the fuck is this? I went from door to door on Miami Beach, all over Miami Beach, and then in the end I started to go even through downtown to apply for the job. All the restaurants. I couldn't get job as a 5-star busboy from the ship, from the Meridian Celebrity Cruise Lines. I couldn't get the job anywhere in Miami Beach. Young man like this, strong, 23 years old, slender. I was becoming more and more mentally ill, man. Again. When I got the job, when I finished the school, look for the job, no. Apply for the military, pay for the military test, money stolen, no. Door to door in Slovenia, no. Pay for the medical examination so that I can go to United States of America to work, money stolen again from medical examination. That's a lot of money, you know. Like half of the salary, basically, we're talking about. Half of the monthly salary was for me because they were stealing the money. Employers were stealing the money from me here in Slovenia. No, 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 whoa, 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 whoa. We somehow finish even the fucking high school equivalent in Slovenia. The only people that know the witness that I have, redovalnica, index, where they were writing the scores inside of that. You should see one, what the fuck that looked like, from the one from the school. It's like you went to the fucking Vietnam, not Ukraine. So, we can talk about mental illness all the fuck you want, but I'm 53 years old now. Every time they did this stuff to me, my stomach would only get bigger and bigger and bigger. I did not even know what the fuck, you know, where the fuck to escape, what the fuck to do, what. And the only thing you see, the police was just, they counted the money, crime. The Chinese guy know about me applying in the Chinese restaurant. He remembered me because he went after me, he stalked me to other locations behind me and started to tell people in Miami not to give me the job. So yes, he did remember me. He said that he remembered. He became like an only witness from Joe Biden. I remember him too. I remember everything about what went on. This shit was so fucking mentally ill that there was no fucking movie that would come anywhere fucking closely to describe the stuff that you scum did. There's no fucking movie, no fucking nightmare, no fucking horror movie that could possibly depict 1% of the stuff you scum have done to me. No fucking movie ever existed. You want to talk about the police? You want to talk about which one? Menendez. Menendez brothers The moment that I said I gave them okay to kill their parents, the parents said okay, and they got the parents of the picture. The parents departed probably to luxurious resort, whatever they needed to go, because the case, the Menendez case, was huge. This was an MK Ultra torture location, which not only police knew about, but the public learned about the Menendez. And in Menendez, it was the police that was implicated, sheriff, lawyers, attorneys, politicians, Epsteins. The top elite were coming to do the butt fucking at Menendez. It's the story the police writes. Police are the storytellers. When you go to the police officers, when you go and you sit to the criminal police officer investigators, these are great storytellers, excellent storytellers. These are storytellers, editors, regisseurs, basically producers, that make people kill, and family members, and themselves including. There is no storytellers, in case you did not know, better than a police officer. You go to the police, you should know that you go to the Steven Spielbergs. Sometimes after that, about 3 years after that, supposedly the parents were killed. Were the parents really killed or not? I do not know. But I remember parents keep coming on the picture and discussing the issue with the police. That means they were like mentally preparing them for departure. Then the day came that they supposedly killed the parents, Menendez brothers. Then the Menendez brothers went into the jail. Menendez brothers were used to incite me in murder of my parents. And incitement into murder of my parents went also about 3 years. 96 were found guilty of killing parents, the last time I sent them to F-land, whatever, was in 99, something like this, is where Robert Golob had to give up on it. He had to give up on it. He had to give up on it. There was some intermezzo in between the killing of the parents and their studying. They would deliver me to them at university, and it was just a blah 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 about that. Some police officer that started to instigate, like you would have a little friend in your head, basically. Like you would have a little friend in your head. You don't want to be there, but you're drugged up, and you're dragged up on a fucking cadre, on a picture, and you have to deal with it. And then like you would have a little friend in your head, da 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 da, and another one, da 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 da, da 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 da. And you interact with one another, blah 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 blah. Storytellers. The best storytellers in the world are police officers. The best. Arrest, blah 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 blah. Sheriff, police, chief, involved in this stuff. I'm thinking about getting them out anyways. I am trying to help the Menendez brothers. I still try to, the Menendez brothers, the two. I'm still trying to help the two. I still try to help. I don't know. Maybe if you could say this, maybe if the parents, what do you think? What do you think? But they did this to you. Your parents did that to you. Your parents did this. Your parents did that. Like we did. What do you think? That's what it is. That's what the life is all about. It's basically whack your parents and move on with life. With the parents like this, that's it. That's it. the last time I thought Robert Golub, this was all Robert Golub shit in the background. No, I think it was in 99. And psychiatrist Peter Kapsch from Novo Mesto just had to quit on the case. It looked like it wasn't promising enough. I get they had so many rejections that they had to move to something else. And the Menendez brothers, they were gone. Bye-bye. Oh, there was somebody else who came on the picture back. There was some investigator who was investigating, and they got some kind of a guy that was a tough guy, a police officer who was investigating this. Hey, you think I cannot do that? You think I cannot get you? You think I cannot this? You think I cannot that? The last time that I met the police officer was when he was demonstrating me the gun. Boom, boom, boom. The police collectively gave me a lesson. He was the one, the speaker, gave me a lesson. And don't you think that saying that the parents are not dead, that they are not dead, that's all there is. That you're not going to think that the parents are not dead. In that sense, that you're not going to think the parents are not dead. You know, boom, boom, boom. And that you're not going to think the parents are not dead. So, clearly sending me a message, not on one occasion, what I stated, but at least on two occasions. First time, like in 2001, and then again 2003, whatever, and maybe even later again. So, making themselves clear that if you're going to say that they are not dead, there will be holes on their skulls or whatever to prove that they are dead. So, if you ask me, the message was, don't get into it, because obviously we're going to kill them if we have to. And I don't know what the message really is, because I don't know what happened. In a circles like this, the Menendez brothers could find themselves drugged up, killing their parents. In the circumstances like this, the Menendez brothers could be brainwashed that they kill the parents and might have not even killed them, and just might have put them on a cutter in a situation, and that's exactly what they do. They if you're willing to do something, some kind of action, this and that, they do something traumatic, then they come and you kill your parents and so on, and you go sleep. They put you to sleep, you wake up next day, what happened, whatever. And they repeat that stuff again. They repeat that stuff again. And they repeat that stuff again. And they put in your subconscious that to form an idea about something that you might not have anything to do with it. But one day, eventually, if those parents get killed or whatever, you might even go out there and confess yourself about killing of your parents. The police officers are the best writers. When you sit in front of a police officer, just remember one thing. You sit in front of the Steven Spielberg. I know all about the MK Ultra. What I have seen, what I have gone through, I can say that there is nothing I would not know about MK Ultra, about the manipulation of the brain through the MK Ultra. I have seen it and experienced it more than any other human being ever did in the face of this world. There are different techniques that you can do that. I have seen all kinds of techniques, including judging me how I ate people and all kinds of stupid shit. Putting the axes in my hands, jucked up during MK Ultra, doing all kinds of stuff. I've seen it all. And when it comes to Menendez brothers, I don't know anything else about the Menendez brothers. The Menendez brothers, I remember them when since they were young, and that's the end of it. What they have to say about it, I don't know. I wouldn't give a three fuck about the Menendez brothers, whatever they have to say about it. Personally, the person that kills parents is absolutely guilty of murder. That's the worst person in the world. Personally. Unless this person would go to the police station first, report parents for the crime, then act, that person is the worst criminal in the world when it comes to the parents. Parents are something very, very holy to me. Somebody's not going to get the wrong idea about me. The two did not do either of the two. Supposedly the two went on to kill the parents. Yes, of course. The police might not give you any kind of assistance. The police might actually ask you what MK Ultra is. Now I ask you, can you explain what MK Ultra is? And you explained in 50 fucking times what MK Ultra is. And they say, can you explain us what MK Ultra is? No, I don't know. I did not see you. I did not meet you ever before. Are we talking about the police? Are we talking about the police, scum? Are we talking about the police here? Let's go back to the Miami Beach story about the police boss from Miami Beach. They was all over this scum. They have scum inside of the Metrodate, where I also applied for the police officer. They had all kinds of people involved since my childhood in this case. Eventually, it is beautiful sunny Miami. I even had a police SWAT team on the 6th floor it is, right out of the apartment, outside of the apartment. It's like on the side of the building that was this apartment located, ready to push the doors and enter inside of our apartment. My wife, ex-wife, came home and wanted to have arguments and arguments and arguments. And the only thing I did was I just collect my stuff, whatever I was up to, and I walk out of the door. I went for exercise. As I opened the door, and there was this team of the police officers, SWAT team, ready to break in to do the job. They promised me they would do during MK Ultra. Arguments. So, I promised, not because of this here, but earlier because of the stuff that went on with doppelgangers American police have used in Miami. Doppelgangers to this scum here from Nova Mesa. They all know about this shit. These are fucking animals, not a police we're talking about. A fucking zoo on open, zoo. You know what the fuck a zoo on open is? It's a fucking zoo. People from the fucking zoo. Uniformed in blue. In the blue uniforms, police officers. Fucking animals. For me, it's difficult to talk about this stuff, obviously. For obvious reasons. Every time I talk about this shit, I need energy afterwards to climb together. To gather myself together, mentally, to continue to do other tasks. Because it's emotional, it's brain, it's exploitative beyond explanation, this shit. I told this boss, the old one and the one who inherited him, that both are older generation police officers from Miami Beach. Both were blonde, I think. One was definitely blonde and the other one was not so blonde. And he was so determined that he's going to help me. I told him, listen, because it was nothing other than torture they enforced. They enforced trauma-based sleep deprivation, cardiovascular burnout, torture, trauma, basically. That's what this shit was. In the United States of America, in Europe, all over the place. I told him, listen, I told him, I don't want to have nothing to do with it anymore because it was becoming clear that the guy was involved in this shit direct. And so he acknowledged that maybe he did want to help me from the beginning. I just should have gone out there, I guess, and identified him and so on. I don't know what exactly I should do. I am glad I did not. I did explain to you the stuff they were playing with. I am thinking about, as a human being, how always I could help somebody, person. What the fuck I would do to actually meet the criteria where the two could possibly... You see, there's such a thing between MKUltra victim and the one that doesn't exist. And it's very important for me to stress out to the MKUltra victims because everything is a lie. This is a lie. MKUltra is a lie. MKUltra is nothing other than a world of lies enforced through the police stick. That's what MKUltra is. That's all there is to it. Me always was a person that always was careful with stuff when dealing with the people, regardless of it. And just I don't know how I would meet expectations of this guy to satisfy him. Not even to satisfy me. I was sure that this shit somehow is going to go away from me. Talking about MKUltra, but it not. They were sickening me more and more with unemployment, and they started to express a total disrespect for me once they got me in the United States of America. In the United States of America, I was a nobody. Once I came to USA, I was nobody. I was alien, not even a resident. Then I became a resident, and gradually I was moving through this rather hilarious play with my last name, first name, and one time they have written down I was even from Macedonia and on immigration paperwork. It's like you would employ people like mentally retarded people. Talking about the police officers. Firemen, police officers, nurses, physicians, people that should be out there responsible, serious about doing their job and this and that. My attitude became funny when dealing with the people. Do you know that? I realized that I started to deal with the people like spoon, right? Like with a stick like this. Doing this kind of stuff to determine who the fuck I'm dealing with before I started to deal with the person. That's how far this stuff had gone. And it did not change in respect to absolutely any kind of professional there, whether that will be dealing with a doctor, with a physician, I should say, lawyer, police officer, whoever. I learned that jabbing like this with the questions, cross-questioning, and within searching for the answer was the only way for me to understand who the fuck I'm dealing with, what kind of person the fuck I'm dealing with. Because the people that I dealt with were so fucklet people. There is expression that exists for sexual orientation. Straight or not straight. I don't know what is straight and not straight when it applies to the sexual orientation. People who ask themselves this straight or not straight when it applies to the sexual orientation have problem, in my opinion. The straight or not straight only applies to the people that are either fucking insane and you don't know what the fuck they have inside of their head, what they're hiding inside of their heads, or it applies to the people that are straight, direct, and honest with you when dealing with you. And I did not find any like this. Everybody who ever met me that was involved in MKUltra, for one thing, stated, "Nice to meet you." And oftentimes I hear, "Oh, we first time here," whatever. But this is not a heavy factor. This is not heavy factor. It's that other stuff that is hiding behind, that applies to the men in blue, those that swear to serve the justice and law and order and true and nothing other than true, and I swear, I pledge, or la 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 la. It was like dealing with mentally ill, mentally fucked up. Like I would go and I don't drink alcohol, but let's say that I alcoholize myself or something like that, and I would just leave in 3 fucking days. Yeah, it's okay to live like this in 3 fucking days. This is not such a problem. As long as you know what the fuck you're doing. When you live in 3 fucking days, you live in 3 fucking days. But when you do the work, you do the work. With the people I interacted with, it's like, Jesus, this is like the song that is imitating the drunk people or something like this. Very difficult for me. None more difficult than with the police officers. And the stuff they were doing this was deliberately done. That's why I said physicians, firemen, and police officers. Because it's a type of attitude that is being deliberately used in the face of the victim. Because they demand from victim to take his life unseriously. Do you understand? They demand from you to give up. They demand for you to settle for the shit answers. And they did enforce one time for 500 euros. Theft from Germany. They demanded from me fucklety attitude. I'm just giving you an example. Stolen 500 euros, you go to the police, you report, we're going to call you, we're going to call you, we're going to call you. Yeah, we're working on. Yeah, it's looking good out for you. We're going to call you, we're going to inform you. And you keep coming back, and you're nice with them, and they keep lying in your face, and they keep lying in your face, till you smash the table, and you demand responsibility for it. And you file complaint against them. And that doesn't stop them. They continue with the fucklety. That's called undermining, psychological undermining in every step of your life. Whatever the fuck you do is this kind of attitude you get from the people that you should get actually a serious answer. Inquire about serious stuff. This is what the systems do to undermine victim completely, it's like, let's say that you're raped, and you go to the police officers, you go to the police station to report the crime, and you have, and you go to another department to report the rape, and you have, and you go to another one, and it's the same shit, Rape is an experience you experience maybe once, maybe twice, maybe you have longer time, maybe it goes for years. But the day that you go and you gather the courage, you shouldn't be discouraged with this kind of attitude, with attacks on you. But that's what, when it comes to MK Ultra, you have judges, you have police officers, you have physicians, you have all these people involved in it. It's exactly where you get this kind of stuff everywhere. And it's not one-time rape in my case. Do you understand what the fuck this shit is about? That's why I said, this is about the police. Is it police? Police do this? You police? You guys are police? That's a police? No wonder I don't see you as a police. When you step in front of me, you step in front of me like a crime suspect. And then it's up to me to determine who exactly you are. Where exactly in the picture do you fit in? And based on my observation, by God, you are fucking scum, all of you. When it comes to Miami Beach, I told the police boss, I told him, I'm going to kill you. I told him. He talked to me about go identify. I told him about twice that I'm going to kill him. He became scared. Not one, two bosses like this. I started to tell them it was time, and I started to say, boy, I'm going to fucking kill you when I get you. I'm a police officer, I'll fucking kill you, man, when I fucking get you. You're going to meet I'm gonna fucking kill you. During MK Ultra, during the torture. Guess what happened? The long old friendship. I came to the US in 23. It was in 95. By 2000, I already told American cops, heads, directors, that I'm gonna fucking kill them when I meet them. I told them, stop with this shit, I don't want to have nothing to do with it. I gave them death threats. They said, you're very dangerous, we're gonna destroy you. By 2000, I was 28 years old. I already got death promises about being killed because of being tortured by the police directors from Miami Beach. He said to me, I'm afraid of you. You're dangerous for us. Is it the police? Is that a police? A police? A police? You're going to help me. Is this about the police? Huh? We're talking about the police here? It's all about the police. This is a police fucking video about the police. Menendez! What the fucking Menendez? You guys provide the public safety? That's a public safety, your fucking threat, or your public safety? What the fuck are you, scum? Honest question, earnest question, what the fuck are you? I got more death threats from police officers than I left the United States of America. It didn't make no fucking sense to be there. I was never qualified for the police officer. Once even I fulfill all the police officer requirements, everything, I was always very respectful. I've seen the fire rescue veterans and military veterans and police officer veterans, and they were honorable people. Security work that I used to do required me to acknowledge that they're honorable people, and this is about, I'm an honorable person. I don't deny people their service. I don't deny people their sacrifice to go on a front line for the country. That's something I was repeated a million times in front of me, repeated themselves around being around these people. I realized that I'm a nobody. I realized that watching all this shit, people were collecting benefits, unemployment support, all kinds of stuff. I got instead a tax. Remember when I told you unstable, the job unstable, instability, employment instability, etc., etc.? You have a guy come in your face based on MK Ultra scenario to practically throw the radio, slide the radio in you, demanding from you to change him a battery because he's got a gun behind his belt and he's barely waiting to use one. Your word that doesn't exist basically against the too many to count. It was time to actually really go from United States of America. Rather than getting myself one more time sick, fat, taking it upon me, all these veterans, all these people, and me as a nobody, hijacked from Yugoslavia as a baby to Vietnam. And every major American military operation hijacked from Yugoslavia to Syria, to destroy Syria, to divide Syria. for the sake of Israeli state. Drag throughout entire Mid East, from Iran to Iraq, from Syria, Jordania, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Libya, etc., etc., etc. Like a less than slave. Just to be told that I'm a fucking nobody, that I have no right to stay in America already as a citizen, that I'm American disgrace, I should get lost out of America. In fact, explained that my working age, best age is going to be all fucking wasted. And then I'm going to be kicked out of America. That kind of stuff. With psychiatrists waiting on you in Slovenia. It was really time to go from United States of America. That's all I wanted to say for this video. This is more than about Menendez brothers. Whatever they did with the parents, or yeah, whatever they did together with the parents, or whatever they did to the parents. I don't know. Maybe they really did go and whack parents. Who the fuck knows? During MKH, you can well brainwash one to see things that might not even exist. And if there is a mental illness, something that exists in a person, as well as he might go and do something about it. That's what this Steven Spielberg's in blue uniforms do. I just fucking surprised, strange, that the world would not acknowledge what I stated in this video. MK Ultra is evil. MK Ultra is play out of the Satan, out of the Lucifer book. Even if the person is not really killed and is vacationing, hiding some fucking place, whatever the fuck he does. Do you understand me what the fuck I'm saying? You motherfuckers are saying fucking MK Ultra not exist, this shit here from Novomesto police station. They don't know what MK Ultra is. It's like fucking saying car doesn't exist. What the fuck is the car? Well, the car, you can see it, you can see it, you can see it. Yeah, you can see it because it's a car, you can see it. But the MK Ultra, you cannot see it. Because it's a broad society, corruption, criminality that you're implicated in. So whatever you can touch, whatever you see, that's what it is. Whatever you can prove. If you get raped, if you don't get the medical examination, you cannot prove that this is what it is, it's also not it. And in some cases, from what I see in America, even the raped victims here in Slovenia is worse. Here's the victim get raped, then they get beaten up by the police. By entire society turns against them. Chikaniranje, it's known as a chikaniranje. That means that they go point finger behind your back, do the small talk, and you get the speech from your parents listening or why you should not think like that. And what will people think after all about you, etc., etc. All I wanted to do is this video basically about the Menendez brothers, about this shit animals in blue. They are making me no favor. You guys are making no fucking favor to anybody. You're making an excuse for yourself. Excuse I am unwilling to ignore. Excuse I am taking every time to the next level. Explaining people more and more about the stuff that you did, that you were involved in. I'm never going to back down. I'm going to reveal the whole fucking thing that went on with you. People must understand who is the biggest, single, gravest threat in this world to the people, to the society, to the law and order. And that's you, scum. I'm very, very disappointed that you collaborated here with the Slovenian side, with the Yugoslavs, with the Serbs and so on. It is unfortunately like this in the United States of America that blacks don't mind ethnic cleansing, killing in other countries. if it's for the sake of darker color of the skin, or the agenda that promotes Soviet Union ideals. It's with everybody like this, with Asians, with Latinos, with absolutely everybody like this. It's sad, it's bad. But it's not ethnic cleansing. Is what America gave me a message. It's ice cream, not ethnic cleansing. Why? Why don't you just get along? Why don't you just get along? Why don't you just get along? Solution for everybody. In Ukraine, killing Ukrainian people. Hey, Ukrainians, why don't you just get along? Here, why don't you just get along? We all get along in America. Black, white, yellow, red. We all get along. Ah, yeah, that's because you don't get along. Why don't you marry Asian? Why don't you marry black? Why don't you marry a Latino? Why don't you just get along? This is the reality about America. And the white person who controls this circle from behind doesn't mind at all because he's in control of everything. And I'm not white enough anyways. I'm just explaining you what kind of society the fuck you are. What the fuck you're doing. You guys understand yourself only because I didn't, during MKH, I just saw through you. Like with the X-ray. You went in this direction, the only thing I did was I went right through you and it's like I didn't see you. Because your message, the message that you had for me during MK Ultra, but there was no message at all. The message was basically turn yourself into nothing, nobody, dust, air. That's all there is to it. Nothing in life's really matter. You just go and you go, wherever the fuck you go. Giving your best to Robert Golob, to Milan Kuchan, right? Kill them fucking all. When everybody will be killed, all will be good. The love will prevail, right? That's why America did not make no fucking sense for me. This does not work sense. This doesn't make any fucking sense. No sense whatsoever. Having a white people action the importance of getting along with other races, ethnicities, all that stuff through literally genocide, through ethnic cleansing, while keeping to themselves Irish, German culture, heritage, English heritage, I don't know what kind of fucking heritage, blah, 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 etc., etc. Make no fucking sense to me. There is an old saying, Serbian saying, Tko je jači, taj tlači. That means whoever is the stronger is the one that is. And that's true. That's what you guys are based on. I was the only person in Miami, so much by myself, even here in Slovenia. And that's what you were coming here, inside of this house. That's what you were doing with me over there in the US and in other parts of the world. That's how it was. Many of you against one. But that still doesn't do you right in this case. Not in this case. You're going to have to find somebody else. That much about the Menendez brothers, about American police in general. I don't give a shit who you hire. You can hire whoever you want from whatever you want. If they have a residency or green card or whatever fucking card, whatever, anything is good. It's all good. A little commercial, EPP, ekonomsko-propagandni material, whatever, propaganda. for the black guy, Jamaican guy, was a police officer in Jamaica, supposedly, trained with the Jamaican police, and let's just say that it was not a pleasure to be next to any one of you. Not in Jamaica, not in the United States of America, not in Singapore, not in the Russia I was. They had me in the jail mostly. Anyways, they didn't hide their feelings for me talking about Russian police. Anyways, nor Serbian police. I have a lot of these clowns talking about the police departments, also through Britain and through Australia, and giving like ceremonial way, you know. How poor the fuck would I be if I take you for something for someone? After all I have gone through at age 53. That would be poor. Eventually I even get to talk about you, scum. That's a big thing already. Disturbing. I am just gonna end here. I cannot do this shit no more. I'm just thinking about these animals standing in front of me, and I told you in America was at least 5,000 police officers involved in this stuff. In my case, the most abusive were police officers. Logically, they give the promises, all kinds of promises. If I consider them as a promises, if I will ever consider them as a promise, I'm gonna check myself over there next to where my father is, inside of that building for mentally fucked up people. Not fucked up, I shouldn't say that, but disabled people. Okay? If I ever take you seriously beyond what I stated in this video, I'm gonna check myself inside of that psychiatric or whatever psychiatric location, and peace, brothers. Because that would be truly, truly deplorable if I would actually, you know, you guys are fucking clowns. Clowns. Shit. 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 You guys are fucking shit. That's all I gotta say. You guys are a fucking shit. That's what you are. Fucking shit. And you know what? You're always gonna be a fucking shit. Go ahead and tell yourself in the mirror that I'm still waiting on your help, and that I count on you, and all that other stuff. There was a lot of stuff that I'm never going to make it, and you're never going to make it, and you're never going to make it, and you're never going to make it. I heard from people talking the stories about how they were telling them that you're not going to make it, you're not going to make it, when they were children, when they were younger, and this and that, blah, 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 blah. This shit went on in my case my entire life. Oh, well, I'm making it. Anyways, I'm not waiting for Miran Sudin. I do exactly what Miran Sudin told me. He was laughing in my face and he said, go home and do writing and do writing. Yeah, that's exactly what we do. Simplified. We continue to work here. Arbeit macht frei was written on the Auschwitz. And I take it to the last word for real. I take it doslovno. That means every letter. The work liberates. That's correct. The stuff that you like, guys. I was told that's why I took it to American level, this stuff. That's why I did it. I was told by American police that, and you will talk about talk all you want, don't talk about American police, okay? Don't talk about us. Just do your stuff, do your things. That's the way it was. Do this, okay? We will not be able to help you talk about American police. We will not be able to help you. You're going to talk about American police. Well, you helped these people here. You supported them against me. You supported the ethnic cleansing. That's what you do. I don't know what the fuck is this here. You posing with this guy here from Jamaica like this guy is going to save you. Why? Why do you feel like this? Because he's black? Because he's a police officer? You try to accent police cooperation through the crime, through the coordinated, internationally coordinated police crime, sickening other police departments throughout the world with issue as bring the problems here and we're going to help you solve them. That's a form of colonization, actually. That's a form of colonization. That's why I told you. Behind all this black, Asian, Hispanic, Latino, I should say, people involved in this, there was always a white guy that was laughing behind it all. Using you to get something else done. And those are known as interstate agreements. Agreements between America, Russia, Slovenia, Serbia, etc., in some other part of the world, through exactly what I described in this blog. So this is not the police. This is not about any fucking police. Slovenian police officers saw themselves as politicians. I don't want to show this guy here. Overall, this was a nice guy. He was not too aggressive. He was nice, and also he was not nice. More it went toward the end, especially once the proofs came out in 2018, he had to be nice whether he liked it or not. I formed my idea about how to view these things as how to view us. I was too taught then, in United States of America it's a different society. I was brainwashed. I was too taught that you're now American, you're now in America, and so on. Yes, of course. American in America, all that stuff. Yes, of course. Of course. I was American. I'm American. I became American. Naturalized American I became. So that I could have a Jew coming inside of this house here from Washington, D.C. as the President of the United States of America gesturing me that he will suspend my American certificate of naturalization, citizenship, if I will talk against his Kushner. Basically, he came here to tutor me what to do, to give him an excuse. There's already video I dedicated to this stuff. So that brute, real animal could do his stuff. This is basically how I see Donald Trump as. But it's very clear. You want to understand the issue behind that one. I'm going to put you the link here, because this link is going to stay here for some time to come. This link is going to be, this is a permanent link right here. It's not completely finished. There is a stuff that needs to be added in respect to Zelensky. Zelensky really hated me so much, terribly hated me so much, with Jews, with Israeli Jews, that is just not completely finished. It's well done, but it's still a portion of it that is missing before I'm going to be able to say it's done. Yes, American, yeah. And with people coming, I'm not gonna say the bad people, all kinds of people, for all walks of life. You must now forget about being Slovenian. You're now American. Funny shit, man, when you come from the United States of America to tell me this in Slovenia. That's a funny shit. That's a really funny shit. Do you have to come from America to tell me, joked up here in this house, in home of my parents, on how I should be and how not? Does that make sense to you, to teach people like this? And you know very well what you're doing. This was all political, just this shit's so political. So political, like no case ever was as political, so criminal. Collectively, you scum knew exactly that stuff that you are doing is known as ethnic cleansing, as genocide, extermination procedure. Collectively. There was no innocent people in this case. Every one of you got payments. Every one of you got favors in return for this stuff. So you don't fucking come to anywhere in any house, drugged up you have him, and teach him. As a matter of fact, if you're victim of MKH, you'll never allow anybody to teach you, to tutor you, how it shall be, what it shall be. There are certain rights that pertain to your citizenship. There are certain rights, if you have multiple citizenships, that pertain to every one of those citizenship you own, and it's the stuff you should and you must enforce to the last breath on this world. For whoever does this kind of stuff is a criminal, illegal, criminal, violent, murderous, treacherous, has absolutely no right. What stuff that was done to me, I watched, and Jamaicans and Mexicans and all kinds of people coming to the US, and contrary to myself, get the best of both worlds, if you understand me. Of the world in America, as America climbed in their ass, and back home, where they would take their money or wherever the fuck they would do. And by the way, I didn't go to America to take the money out of America. It's unprecedented. This is hilarious. It's super, super, super idiotic. This is the most cretinoidic case. Cretin, talking about, let's say, Prince Charles, royals, liars, murderers, swines, that anybody ever managed to depict them with world witnessing what the fuck this is. I am the person who stated, even British, that I would not even take 1 cent from them out of Britain if it would mean that the money would end up in the hands of the Slovenian scum. A really person like this. I'm a person actually to admire, and nothing really other than admire. You are the person, you really are, when you establish that you would not go and do the stuff to the people that express their trust in you, ultimate trust in you, privileged people, people in general. Because I was so naive that I took dosłowno. That's in Polish language. Word by word. I was certain that people out there that actually that they do side with me, that they are on my side, that, you know, trust, honor, that kind of stuff. And this was the biggest gig of the British Royals. It was like, fuck you, we got you, you know, we got you, you know. I don't know what you got, what you did not got, but I'm doing really good. The stuff that pertains to MK Ultra, I covered the main, whatever stuff it was. The rest would be only the videos that people would have to demonstrate about the stuff that went on. Yeah, I could explain more about it, but the main stuff I did. And in this video I also covered about what kind of role the police played in it, what police was, what this felt like, who was coming inside of this home, what this whole shit was all about, basically. On one side, demanding ultimate respect, ultimate devotion, ultimate commitment, ultimate dedication, patriotism, you know? On other hand, I don't know what else to explain to you. I did explain to you in this video what the hell this shit was. I was trying to do the best, and that's why I lasted for so long. I lasted for 53 years. Enough to tell the story, what nobody ever managed to come anywhere even close about when it comes to MK Ultra. And I did so through the highest, really, elites, this world, multi-generational, from 1972 all the way to 2025. Which is incredible. That testimony that gives in and out about exactly what the world, how the world functions, how it is. Fucking crazy that you would get somebody from another part of the world so dedicated in your country to do whatever the fuck, to work with you and so on. Yeah, but it's true. It is true. It's completely logical. The natives are always natives, and the foreigners are always foreigners. This is totally logical. It's a logical thing. And I'm not the person that will attest to this. I'm not the person who's gonna contradict this, who's gonna go against your logic. This is your logic, and I must respect one. That's how you see things, and that's fine. I would not change anything I have done it. The way I have done it is just truly amazing. It's truly amazing the way I did, the way I managed to survive this shit. This is fucking incredible. Incredible stuff. Incredible. The mainstream media, which was always present. They were always coming inside of this home, inside of this house, because they knew that I will be reading the news. They knew that I will be going through the news. This is always a follow-up in front of the laptop with the future articles that pertain to the personal experience out there. I told you, this would go from one fucking car to another car, from one hotel to another hotel, from one plane to another plane, from one plane to another plane. They were doing a booking. It was several people at the time was doing booking for the flights, for the connections, for the hotels, hostels. This is how it goes, this stuff. Like a cattle on the plain. Did find myself in the middle of the ocean, threatened that I'm going to be kicked out of the plane. All kinds of stuff like that. It was all kinds of stuff. All kinds of stuff. Yeah, the way you guys do this stuff, the way you guys enforce this, it would make anybody feel as mentally ill. I don't feel like mentally ill, but the way you do this stuff, you guys, the way you do this stuff, the way you run this stuff, it would make absolutely any person in the world feel is mentally ill. Absolutely. The way you guys enforce this stuff is in such a way that it's like person is talking to himself. It's exactly what Miran Sudin said. Just go home and keep writing. Just keep writing, laughing in my face. Not because he would not believe what he says or he wouldn't be saying the truth. Not because of that. Not because he would be lying or something like that. No. The way you do it is just so violent. So fucking impressively violent. You know when I told you about that stuff? In everywhere you would go and you would fucklety attitude. You guys do it so violent, this shit. So persistent and so violent that one must truly ask myself in this case, what the fuck is this world all about? What the hell is this all about? How far can you guys go and continue to enforce lies to get the feedback? And the answer is hiding at United Nations. The answer is hiding at the people, ultimate court of the people that are run by Antonio Guterres. And you can see on my blog about the stuff that I wrote about Antonio Guterres, about United Nations, what went on inside a United Nations Assembly in Berlin before they moved to New York and so on, to understand what the fuck this is. This is you guys do it so convincing. So convincing you do it that really anybody would ask himself or herself what's wrong with her or with him based on the way you do it. Seriously, you are fucking animals. You truly are animals. Legalize the fucking rape already. Legalize it, motherfuckers. Legalize drugs. Legalize rape. Legalize killing of the people. Clearly we are heading back to Stalinism. Clearly we are heading back to Hitlerism. Clearly we have a Hitler inside of the White House. We have a black Hitler before this one, and we have a white Hitler before now. And the people, you the people, all the fuck you want is bread and games. Panem et circes, like they said in Rome. Bread and games. The Menendez brothers is the case of the Menendez brothers. This is a case of the Chewbacca and the case of the Soviet Union. These people were involved, entire family was involved since my childhood. Everything went normal, nice, during America, more or less. Then it started to get more and more torture. All kinds of funny stuff. Supposedly even a pedophilia for which the kids were really excited. I remember the two kids. I remember Uncle Andrew. Epstein business. In respect to family Menendez. Toys. The beautiful toys they got. When I was a child and they got the beautiful toys. But they have to get, for those toys, they have to pay for those toys. There was a trick to those toys. They were teaching me in America. Those toys have to be paid. And I wanted to know how they were paying for those toys. How do you pay those toys and so on. They were not the only children who had to pay for those toys. What is impressive about this case is the case of the Chewbacca and the Soviet Union. The Chewbacca, you can see it here. The Chewbacca pertains to me today. This here is a Chewbacca. This is a case of the Chewbacca is here. Look. This is the case of the Chewbacca. This is a Chewbacca. This is the one, I believe, next to this Slovenian scum here. You know, Robert Golob was not such a big deal, this guy. This guy was a deal because he was involved in this stuff, but he had a banking account. I remember when I told you about the special foreign banking accounts, investments, through the banking account that British Royals, Americans opened for them, just like a Novo Mesto police director. The bigger Chewbacca, the bigger guy than this guy was this guy here who was pulling behind this stuff. These were the people that did not have the accounts. These are the people who did not have banking accounts. This here is the Chewbacca. The Chewbacca didn't have any interest about my revealing the truth. But I involved the Chewbacca in this video anyways, and from now on the Chewbacca is going to be involved in it. I'm not gonna shy away from the Chewbacca. Chewbacca was involved since my earliest childhood through the Josip Broz Tito, through this one here. This one here. This one. This guy here. Who supposedly was a great Arab friend. And he was a great friend of Egypt and all these countries over there in the Mid-East. Great, great guy. The same like Russians. Russians. Soviet Union. Sovietsky Soyuz. The same. He was an enemy of the Chewbacca. But he made me spy for the Chewbacca. That's interesting, isn't it? And finally you can see the Syria torn apart, ripped apart totally. And it's about also to be given to Chewbacca. Chewbacca had very, very little to worry about when he finally came to extermination of the Gaza. When he finally came to extermination of Palestine. The Chewbacca does not want this case to come out. That much about American police. When it comes to Menendez, the Epstein, the Prince Andrew business, the toys. This shit went from toys parallel into the story of 1991, fall of the Soviet Union. And then friendship with Russia. You know, that transition, that complete metamorphosis of Menendez family to serve higher political interests. This was a political family anyways. But parallel to all this, the situation for these people was upgrading itself into completely different. They were just gaining, like, you have one purpose in life, you do that stuff, and these people just started to develop different purposes, you know. They just started to, I'm not going to say that this was a very political family, because it was extremely political family. Menendez family, from what I remember, the governor of wherever these people are from, they would be asking the governor, I remember this governor, they would be asking the politicians, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? I remember the father and the mother. What do you want me to do? What do you want us to do? What do you want us to do? They absolutely went on to serve the federal government, the state government and the federal government. And all this shit, this Chewbacca shit, was twisting around Vladimir Putin, about the Eastern Europeans. And what they started to do is they started to serve the Slovenian side. They started to serve Milan Kučan here. You started it very politically with me, and you're not going to get away with it. You're not going to I'm not about to let you get away with it. We're going to go all the way with this shit. There is two sides of the Menendez family. The Chewbacca and the one of the Soviet Union, the Putin that you watch over there. Two things. Jew and the Russian over there that is doing the war, with whom America is partnering. It's all was changing parallel to the stuff that went on. 95, I come to the United States of America. 96, these people are sentenced and so on, right? 91, fall of the Soviet Union, right? Look at the time frame, how it goes. These are extremely political people. For one of the Menendez brothers, I even heard that they have a family, wife, children and stuff like this outside of the prison system. Maybe if you go in and investigate this stuff, maybe this story is going to gain a totally different reality behind the stuff that you read in the media. And it's also impressive because the Menendez family, big Menendez crime that took place, it's also incredible because we get to read about the Menendez family since 95 in the media. All the time it's about the Menendez. Everything is about the Menendez. Do you know how many kids kill their parents in the United States of America every year? I don't know, but there is great many. There was about 300 parasites. They call it the parasites. Look, the murder of a parent by the child, 300 per year. See this? Look at this shit here. Yet we get to read the selected case for 30 years about the Menendez. You know. You wanna excuse your Chewbacca for doing the stuff to me and accent your veteran status, continue to accent your veteran status to me, rather than resolving this case, rather than ending this stuff, then you're going to have a lot of problems, because this case is a proven case. It's going to be very, very, very tough for you to prove that anything about my case is false. And as you know, I'm very hard working, and this video keeps coming back with more and more and more and more about the stuff that went on. You look ugly, America, today, frankly. And I really don't see myself in you in any way. It's about 9,000 cases, isn't it? It's 30 years. It's about 9,000 cases in 30 years. We get to hear about the Menendez all the time. Menendez here, Menendez. Always is about the Menendez. How? Let's go and let's check how is the Menendez. Based on what I recall, the Menendez, one of them at least, have a family from what I recall. They did have me. Biden had me in some place. He lives in the house with the family, kids, that kind of stuff. That's your Menendez. Maybe. Then on the other hand, when the person is drugged up, you can, I swear to you, you can present him in God, you can present him Saint Mary, Sveta Maria, you can present him Napoleon Bonaparte, you can introduce him to Adolf Hitler, you can introduce him to... Yeah, you get the point. That still doesn't mean that you guys are doing right. You guys are fucked up in your head. in your heads. You guys are having serious problems. You guys are having the most fucking serious problems that you can possibly have. You guys have the real episodes. It's really happening to you. I don't buy nothing. Not even what I have, nothing. What I had yesterday behind the tooth nail. The nail. I don't buy any of your shit. I remember clearly about the stuff you did. I was also asked, why do I scream so much? Why do I do like this, videos that I'm not supposed to? And I was given an advice and so on and so forth. That's a sick question. That's the only thing I have to say. That's a sick question. I'm now 53. So yeah, that's a sick question. When Prince Andrew would do children, for girls, absolutely, but I'm talking about the boys here. This is why I'm also certain that Prince Andrew also did boys. And the same thing was with Edward. The funniest part was that Edward only did once, twice, 3 times, supposedly. But when royals would do pedophilia, they would always have somebody like Epstein next to them. Prince Andrew's pedophilia did not start it with Julia Giuffre. I don't know her name properly. I don't know how to pronounce properly her name. At her age 17, he solicited in front of me children of 7, 8, 9 years old kids, boys, using always people like Epstein, who would enter with me first into the houses and so on with others, make a friend and give the gifts and so on, and would have people like this explain what exactly the gifts are used for, how. Then they would say, now go and pay for the gift. That would be their parents' job. It would be nice, very nice, and then it would be from the parents that would send children upstairs, whatever, where you would have already maybe somebody or waiting, or you would have visit coming and so on. Sometimes even maybe with myself already gone out of the house doing other stuff and so on. I was extremely handy to the British royals because I managed to portray pedophilia from the point of view, from the perspective of not exactly martial arts, wrestling, that kind of stuff, children, that kind of stuff. So they managed to steer attention into the area from personally themselves into different area, and I was extremely successful at it. British royals are pedophiles. That is a correct answer, yes. Now at least I explained to you also how they were using Epstein for the children, deeply underage children, age of 7, 8 and so on, 9, stuff like that.